The Girl in Every Family Photo. Part 1. 3 years ago, a woman named Bettina Okonkwo-Hale was organizing digital copies of every family photo she owned, spanning nearly a decade, for a photo book she wanted to make for her parents' anniversary. Sorting through hundreds of images, birthdays, holidays, ordinary weekend gatherings, she started noticing something in the background of photo after photo that she hadn't consciously registered before. The same woman, unfamiliar to her, appearing somewhere in the frame. At first, she assumed it was a family friend she simply didn't remember well, someone who'd attended several gatherings over the years. But the more carefully she looked, the stranger the pattern became. The woman appeared in photos spanning the entire 10-year range Bettina was organizing, at gatherings held in different states, different houses, different years, always somewhere in the background, never centered, never interacting with anyone, never once acknowledged by name in any caption or conversation Bettina could recall. What unsettled Bettina most was that the woman never appeared to age across the full decade of photographs. Same face, same approximate age, same neutral, unreadable expression in every single image, regardless of whether the photo was from a birthday 10 years ago or a holiday gathering the previous winter. Bettina began showing the photos to family members individually, asking if anyone recognized her. The responses were oddly inconsistent. Her mother squinted at several photos and said she vaguely remembered a woman like that from some gatherings, but couldn't place a name or connection. Her uncle looked at the same photos and insisted, with more certainty than Bettina expected, that he had never seen this woman at any event he'd attended, despite being clearly present himself in several of the same photographs. No one in the family could produce a name. No one could explain how the same unfamiliar woman had attended gatherings across a full decade, multiple states, and various sides of the extended family, without anyone ever formally meeting her, introducing her, or apparently noticing her presence at the time each photo was taken. Bettina started a more systematic review, going back through every photo she and her relatives had access to, expanding well beyond the initial group she'd been organizing. The pattern held. The woman appeared in family photos going back, it turned out, nearly 15 years. Not the 10 Bettina had originally been reviewing, once older photo albums were included. She appeared at a wedding, at a funeral, standing near the back of a memorial service, unacknowledged by any attendee in later conversations Bettina had about that day. At a hospital, in the background of a photo taken the day Bettina's younger cousin was born. Bettina brought this to a cousin who worked professionally in digital photo forensics, hoping for a simple explanation, such as an old glitch in a family member's camera or phone that inserted a stock background figure through some kind of software error. Her cousin reviewed the raw, unedited files from multiple different cameras and phones across multiple different family members, spanning the full 15-year period, and found no evidence of any digital manipulation, no repeated file artifacts, no software glitch that could explain a consistent human figure appearing across such varied and independently owned equipment over such a long stretch of time. The forensics review did surface one new detail that deepened the mystery rather than resolving it. In several of the oldest photographs, from family gatherings predating Bettina's own birth, the same woman appeared, already looking exactly as she did in the most recent photographs. If she was a real person aging normally, she would have had to appear, at minimum, in her 60s or 70s by now, based on how old she looked in photos from before Bettina was born. She looked, in every single image across the entire 15-year archive, no older than her mid-30s. Bettina, increasingly unsettled, decided to ask the one relative she hadn't yet consulted. Her grandmother, the oldest living member of the family, present in nearly every gathering across the full span of photographs. When Bettina showed her the compiled images, her grandmother's reaction was immediate and different from everyone else's vague uncertainty. She went quiet, studied several photos carefully, and then asked Bettina a question that changed the entire direction of her search. Does she ever look directly at the camera in any of them? Bettina went back through every single photo in the archive to check. In every one, without exception, the woman was looking away, at an angle, or otherwise positioned so her gaze never met the lens directly. Except for one, a single photograph, taken at a family barbecue 9 years ago, where the woman is, for the only time in the entire archive, looking directly into the camera. Bettina's grandmother, upon seeing that specific photo, said only, "Then it's already seen you too," and refused to explain what she meant. Until, she said, Bettina was ready to hear the whole story. Who is the woman in these photographs? Why has she never aged across 15 years? And what did Bettina's grandmother mean when she said the woman had already seen her? We're getting the full story from her in part 2. Subscribe so you don't miss it.